Hopefully you're making it a great day. Hopefully your Monday is looking good. At least in terms of weather here in Central Florida, it is good. I'm at the office today, so that means we're gonna have a little bit of a kind of a run and gun kind of thing. I'll have to do a little TV every now and then, but that said, let's get to coffee talk, shall we? Top two things we're monitoring today: the building heat across Central Florida. You are absolutely going to notice it as you step out the door, not only this morning, but into this afternoon. And then we're going to be tracking the tropics. Yeah, there are things to monitor. So let's get right to it and see what's doing. First off, our Tower Cam network. This is the Kennedy Space Center. I showed this one just a couple of moments ago. It is looking very nice. Let's head over to the 528 Causeway. We're looking good there. Just a little haze in the atmosphere. Melbourne, definitely can see that haze there. But it is a nice start to the day. Let's head to downtown, see what's doing here. Yep, looking very, very nice with the blue skies over top of us. We're looking toward downtown from our WESH 2 Studios Tower Cam here. Some high thin clouds. Downtown Orlando, Lake Eola, looking back over toward, there's Exploria Stadium, there's Camping World Stadium, and last but not least, let's head out to the tourist district. Is that a hotel? I've never seen this camera shot before. I guess that's at a hotel, one of the hotels down there. Nikki, good morning to you. Susie, good morning. Once again, my comments are not doing well. Brandy, Jan, good morning, good morning. Hope you all are doing great. I apologize. I guess I'll do the best I can with the limited comments that I've got. All right, let's talk temperatures. You can see them on the bottom of the screen, but we're in the upper range of the 70s area wide. And our first warning live Doppler radar is actually nice and quiet. Did have a little bit of rain up here around Marion County earlier. You kind of see a couple more showers kind of hanging out around Denellen. But if we head out toward the Gulf, you can see there's plenty more where that came from. Sugar Mill Woods, Spring Hill, Bayonet Point. There's some rains out that direction. So we've got a little bit of rain to track, but overall, yeah, it's a nice start to the day. And that rain is technically not in our coverage area. So it's just stuff to watch. 86 degrees, our 11 o'clock temperature. We're headed to 90 degrees by 1 o'clock today. And I think at 1 o'clock, we're going to start to see a few showers popping up. And then that's going to continue to see more and more rains. And what's interesting about our forecast today is that that East Coast sea breeze is going to be pinned at the East Coast. The West Coast is going to race across, and then they kind of just slam into each other in our eastern areas. So, of course, we've got you covered. Let's take a look at Futurecast. Here we are. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. I'll bring it full screen for you, and you can very clearly see. Here's 10, 11, 12 o'clock. You can see a little bit of rain up around Marion County, but generally speaking, it'll be a fine start to the day. Notice 2, 3 o'clock, spotty showers around. 5, 6 o'clock, that time frame, the 5, 6 o'clock time frame, that's when the East Coast sea breeze is pinned and the West Coast sea breeze moves and hits. And what's interesting, I actually had a friend on Facebook ask me this, and I think it's interesting. Okay, he said he was showing a weather app, and he's like, "Why do the models just show the storms blowing up?" And I was like, meteorologist enters the chat, and it's like, well, because these sea breezes are these mini cold fronts, and once they hit into each other, they may develop showers and storms by themselves, but when they hit into each other, it's just like a head-on collision. And once you see the head-on collision, once you see them hit into each other, all that energy, it all goes up. And so because of that, we get the storms exploding. That's why Central Florida is the lightning capital of the hemisphere, essentially. Hold on a second, just got an email from the digital media manager. What does she want? Sorry, she's trying to publish a story. Okay, so anyway, that's why these storms fire up. So I think by about 5, 6 o'clock, we're going to start to see the storms really bubbling up. Hey, the comments just showed up. All right, Bruce, Cheryl, Stacy, Kenneth, good morning, everybody. Jennifer, good morning. Glad to see you all could make it. Glad to see that my syndicator is working, finally. So yeah, 6 p.m., storms get going. 7, 8 o'clock, still with stormy weather, but it's continuing to fire up out east. So I would say those of us with little children, plan accordingly. Plan for the storms out east kind of thing, okay? Robin, good morning from Palm Coast Ford. Good morning to you. Melissa, good morning. Nancy, good morning to you. Barbara says, another day in paradise. I love it. Barbara, good morning to you. Chris down in Homestead, how are you, buddy? Kenneth, good morning. Oh, I already said good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Jamie, good morning. All right, so yeah, thunderstorm coverage is going to mainly hug areas from about Orlando east. I would say that today's main idea, though, in addition to the storms, one thing I want to make sure you know, it is going to be a hot day. Look at these temperatures today. Average high, 91 degrees. Cool, that's fine. It's going to be hotter than that. 94 degrees in Orlando. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very warm forecast. So just know that. Just know that. Plan on it. Plan on it. You heard it first here. We're now going to have exploding storms. And there's my brother, just trying to be a putz. What are you going to do? He's a Burris. Jessica, did you watch Astra yesterday? I was so disappointed. Oh, you know, I missed it. I was in parenting mode, so no, I missed it. Graphic is already tweeted. Sorry. Just emailing with the digital manager. Yeah, I missed it, but you know, it's Elon Musk, of course, SpaceX, Tesla, Boring Company, said it's hard to get to space. And I think we learn every single day with these new startups that you can get up to space, like Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic. They're going up, but they're not hitting orbit. But to hit orbit, you've got to have an orbital insertion. You've got to have that perfect speed. And I think they missed that speed by like 100 meters per second, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing. But if you miss it, you miss it. So, it's hard to get to space. So Astra will get there. I think that I read that they had 2 successful orbital insertions out of now 6 or 7 attempts. So they're learning. If you think back to all of the failures of NASA, of the Air Force, if you think of all the failures that everybody has had, many people don't realize SpaceX had many, many, many failures at the beginning. So Astra will get there, but Astra's business model is so interesting because it's lighter payloads, it's significantly lower costs. So I think it's a really interesting point of discussion. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting point of discussion. Good stuff. David says, congratulations on the Tesla. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. What a ridiculous thing, Tony and I getting at the exact same day, exact same time. So Jessica's asking, do they have more TROPICS satellites ready to try again? So there were 2 TROPICS satellites that were set to go up yesterday, and obviously they did not make it. They were actually a part of a 6-satellite constellation. So I know of at least 4 more that are set to launch in the next couple of months, But yeah, Judy says, if you don't succeed the first time, try again. And I think what's interesting is NASA is funding Astra, as normal. But the idea here is cost is lower, but risk is higher, So they're working together to get this process going through. So, it's a learning curve for Astra, and NASA is helping to fund that. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's all going to be good. All right. What's the weather like for this week, Marie? It is going to be grossly hot. Grossly hot. Look at the temperatures the next couple of days. 94 today, 95 tomorrow, 96 on Wednesday. Yeah, records are not going to be hit, we don't think, but it is going to be hot. Really hot. Seriously hot. Hold on one second. Question for you, sir. Question. Can I get tower cam to dub, please? Tower for weather. I'm going to use my router for my Facebook Live. So if I could get in the back tower cam to dub for these next few hits.
Okay, tower cam to dub.
Yeah, just any tower cam to dub. Thank you, Bubba. All right, sorry, logistics. Let's see here. Judy, good morning to you. I keep seeing Kenneth. David, good morning. So yeah, that's the answer. It's going to be grossly hot this week. 96 is our highest forecast temperature this week. I will say we hit 96 last week, and for the year thus far, 96 is the hottest that we have been. So yeah, good times. All right, to the tropics. I will start briefly with the tropics, okay, and then elaborate more when I go do weather on TV, and then we can chat more after that as well. But for the tropics, we're watching the Caribbean. Not for now. Not for now. No, Roberto's not working. My bubala. Oh, my bubala. But over the next 5 days' time, I would say that there's a low-end 30% likelihood that we see something getting going here. And I'll show you the models. I looked at them this morning on our 6 a.m. Tracking the Tropics update, if you saw that. But that was the 0Z models. We now have 6Z models, so we'll have to look and see what exactly they are showing. But we're in hurricane season, so it makes sense. It makes sense. If you're heading to the beach today, it also makes sense. Seas offshore running about 2 to 3. Surf conditions running 1 to 2. Now, don't worry, I'm not glancing over the tropics. I'm just talking a little more local before I go do this TV hit, and then we will be good to go. I just need to do the TV hit, and then we can come back and talk tropics ad nauseum. Yeah. But it's a nice day. It's going to be a hot forecast. The one thing I want to remind you, though, of is the fact that with these temperatures, first off, pets pause on the asphalt. Be very careful. The other thing, we do not need to ever lose another person because of a hot car. With temperatures getting into the mid-90s, look at that temperature. In 10 minutes, 114 degrees. In 30 minutes, 129 degrees. It is going to be disgustingly hot in there, as it always is. But you have to remember this. You have to be careful. I always tell people, leave your keys in the back seat. Leave your wallet in the back seat. Leave your cell phone in the back seat. Leave something in the back seat just to be safe, because what we don't need is a tragedy. Okay? All right, give me a few seconds. Let me reroute this. All right, so you're going to see what's on CW18, and I'm going to go do weather. I will be back in just a couple of moments, my friends. Bear with me. Thank you.
Now, craters on the moon's surface will be much more visible than usual. I missed it. Kudos to everybody who did get to see it, and who wasn't just, gunning out of the house this morning and driving to work. And
gotta stop and smell the roses, everyone.
that was my reminder this morning.
No, when it's, I would love to hear your feedback, because when it is 2 o'clock in the morning, the absolute last thing that I want to do is stop and smell anything. I just want to make sure that I don't fall asleep.
Yes, no, I took the dog out this morning and I was like, come on, go, 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 I gotta get back to work.
So you're just like relaxed?
I don't know about relax. Oh, no, if anything, my car died this
Oh
morning.
no! Oh no!
But the moon made everything a
Oh,
tiny bit
sure,
better.
okay, you're switching everything out, you're just looking up, like taking
Yeah,
stuff from
well,
one
she
part
had the
to other.
time. She had the time. She's like, well, now what am I gonna? Oh, look, there's the moon.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a warm start to the day. The moon
Yes.
made things better for me. If you were lucky to see it, great going. If you weren't, you can join the boys over here. in the camp.
I would love your feedback. Do you stop and smell the roses that early? Okay, anyway, let's talk about the forecast. We are taking you over toward Camping World Stadium, Exploria Stadium. It's a beautiful shot looking out toward the Paramore District. A little bit of haze out there on the horizon, but otherwise, our Tower Cam network is looking mighty fine. We are starting with temperatures in the upper range of the 70s in the city. We're in nearly 80 degrees for the Villages. Back over toward Palm Coast, you're the lowest at 75 degrees. Brr, right? Here's a look at first warning live Doppler radar. Rain free in our area. There is some heavier stuff out over the Gulf of Mexico, and this is actually starting to put out a couple of flashes of lightning, 5 strikes over the last couple of minutes. Not a ton, but a few. And we've watched a few sprinkles out over western Marion County. So where do we go from here? My friends, it's a beautiful day, but we do have that heat, we do have that humidity, and then the thunderstorms get going. In about 45 minutes, the Magic Kingdom opens on up. It's going to be a nice start with temperatures in the lower range of the 80s, about 88 degrees by lunchtime. We'll get to 94 degrees about 2, 3 o'clock, and then start to drop the temperatures as those showers and thunder showers start getting going. And that 94 is well above average. 91 is the average. 94 is our forecast in the city. 93 in Claremont. Even our lower spots, 91 in Ocala, 90 degrees in Melbourne. So even the beaches getting in on the heat. Here's Futurecast. Let's just pause this at noon. Let's stop and smell the roses, right, Sonica? Not too bad for our lunch break. And as a matter of fact, through about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, not too bad. But the East Coast sea breeze is pinned, the West Coast sea breeze is on the move, and as soon as they get together, they fire up those big showers and thunder showers. So 6 p.m., lots of rain. That all kind of spreads off to the east. 8 p.m., Brevard County, lots of rain. That looks like the kind of setup for possible localized flooding, certainly big thunderstorms. So if you live out east, maybe get the kids bathed relatively early because we'll have those thunderstorms around. Then looking ahead to the next couple of days, we just heat up. 94 today is just the start of the fun. 95 tomorrow, 96 on Wednesday. Models are even saying we could be talking 97 or 98, but let's just not even talk about that. Let's put that in the back of our minds, right? Today, great day to get into the pool. Just keep your head on a swivel and listen for the rumbles of thunder to approach you. Beach forecast showing surf conditions running about 1 to 2 feet. Out to the Caribbean, models are trying to bubble something up out here. 30% coverage of rain, 30% chance of development out there over the next 5 days' time. Meanwhile, back here at home, it's a 30 to 40% coverage of rain next couple of days with rising rain chances into the weekend. Time for a traffic check. Boy, you get so used to saying coverage of rain and you mess up the tropics. Good gravy. Okay, friends. Hi, how are ya? My apologies. All right. So I've got a couple of hits coming up, but we can start looking at model data and all that fun stuff here. Let's start off with checking out on the tropics here. What I want to do is show you the raw GFS, okay? So we talked about just a couple of moments ago that 30% chance for development. Of course, I messed it up on TV. Always love being human. But let's watch through time here, okay? Top left corner, GFS 0.25, initialized 60. It's the most recent run of the model. Valid time is on the top right corner of your screen there, okay? So what we're looking at is, this is 3Z, so this is 11 p.m. Let's keep going. And I want you to notice right where it says the word talk. Right where it says the word talk, this is Thursday, 8 p.m., which translates to 0Z Friday, I know. But this is Thursday, 8 p.m. You can see the rain. You can see that little area of low pressure trying to develop. So yeah, a little something there perhaps to watch tropically. All right, making landfall this weekend. So models have been showing it. That's what the Hurricane Center is discussing. That's the GFS model, okay? All right, let's continue. Making its way ashore, not a big deal there whatsoever. This is the 21st. This is 12Z, which is 8 o'clock in the morning. Trying to develop lowering pressure in the Caribbean again. So it would be 1-2, okay? 22nd, something trying to get going. Heading toward Lake Cuba. Now I will say, the more purple you see, obviously the lower the pressure is. So the GFS is trying to go a little goofy there. Yeah. It's going to be a strong one, at least according to the GFS. Now, I don't believe any of this. Like, for example, this is 294 hours out. Remember, computer models are guidance, not gospel, so it's just an idea. It's just an idea, but it's trying to do something, bringing it near Florida and then bringing it over toward Louisiana. Oh, how fun is that? Again, it is a model. Don't believe everything you see. It's one model run of one model. If we switch over to the European, let's just roll through. First off, the European doesn't even try to really get anything going in the Caribbean into the Yucatan, so there's that. Then just rolling through time, tries to develop something out east and lowering pressures around Florida around Saturday and Sunday, not really zeroing in on much, just lowering pressures. So, you know, it would give you the idea that the models are trying to throw something together out that direction. But again, lots of time to watch, lots of uncertainty. Suffice it to say, just something to watch. No big deal there, right? Yeah. 30% chance of development. Aye. Chance of rain. What's wrong with it? Anthony says this lines up with your June 25th prediction, except it's on the West Coast. Yeah, I mean, it's not set in stone yet. Nothing's set in stone. So it's definitely something that we'll be watching. Susie says, Eric, you were born to do this. I've been watching you for years, but I have to say, every once in a while, you get to meet folks who you can see are doing exactly what they should be doing, and that's you, my friend. Susie, you just brightened my day. Thank you so much. That was nice. That was nice. Sabir Garcia, does the BSR show anything? It did, I believe. Give me a second to get it to stop. North Pacific. How come I didn't tell you what? What did I not tell you?
Nick said that every full month and every month has its name.
I'm a meteorologist, not a month namer.
You're a scientist.
I'm a scientist. Oh, yeah, every full moon has a thing. But that's not my ball. They're yelling at me because I didn't tell them that every full moon has a name. I study the weather, not the moon.
But some. Doesn't the moon affect the weather? I was about to jump in.
Doesn't the moon affect the weather? Yeah, but climate affects the weather, and I'm not a climatologist, girl.
But you know enough about the
Mike,
to share some fun facts.
Mike dropped. Just because I'm good at Trivial Pursuit doesn't mean I'm good at everything, baby.
Are you good at Trivial Pursuit?
You'll have to see.
I feel like that is
Trying to throw shade at him. All right, I see. I was talking too much to them. I apologize. We'll look at the BSR in a minute. I need to get this dialed up because we have a Today Show cut in. So let me get my TV hit set up. I apologize. We are going to look at the BSR in a moment. What did I name my car? I don't name cars. So it's called the Burris Transportation System. It's not creative. Hold on, I need to do this real fast. Tower cam to dub. Okay. All right, I will be right back with you, everybody. Scientist, Steve, you're too funny. All right. Tower cam to dub. Thank you. So if you're asking yourself, why am I asking for tower cam to dub? Because I have one router and I'm using it to show you the air signal. Coffee talk, friends. All right, Sonica, good morning to you, my dear. We are starting off beautifully as we peek outside, looking down I-4 toward downtown Orlando. Aside from a couple of clouds here or there and a little bit of haze, we're doing just fine. What about temperatures? Let's take a look, shall we? 78 degrees in the city. It's 79 Daytona Beach, 78 degrees in Melbourne. And our first warning, live Doppler radar, rain-free in our area. Some thunderstorms out here over the Gulf Coast, but even still, as they're making their way ashore, they're not really bothering us at all. 88 degrees, your lunchtime temperature. We'll make it to 94 degrees today with a 40% coverage of rain. Same kind of idea tomorrow, except even hotter, and even hotter yet for Wednesday. It is going to be hot. Okay, then we've got a commercial break and then one more weather hit. My apologies, my friends. It's it is constant. All right. BSR. What is it? It's like the 24th. Let me just time this out on the BSR. Bear with me. It's like June 7th. So the BSR would be like right there. Yeah, that's it on the BSR. You see that area of low pressure there? So there's a signature for it there. There's absolutely a signature there for it. Whether or not it comes to fruition, you know, the BSR, like everything else, isn't perfect. But you can see there's a signature for something, something coming in on the Gulf Coast. So that does line up. Interesting, right? The BSR, by the way, if you're new to this, I do long range forecasts, but the BSR is a teleconnection. It lets you check in and see your work. It gives you about a 2.5 week update on things. Your new suit looks amazing. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Jessica also says that's very anticlimactic. I wasn't the one hyping that up. That was Chris. Debbie says, stop apologizing. We get it. You're sweet to be concerned. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate it. Vehicle name, the barometer. Oh my God, that's hilarious, Rhonda. The barometer. The barometer. Good gravy. Tim says, I'm cruising again this weekend. Nice weather in the Bahamas, please. Oh, I'll do my best. You should have named your car Stanley. Stanley's a great name. That's funny. Was Chris causing trouble again? What I meant? Oh, he always causes trouble. But anyway, so that's the BSR showing our little system, our little potential system in the Gulf. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something. Kenneth says the big thing, Chicago Transit Authority in Chicago are the true names of the band name known as Chicago. Oh, interesting. You'll learn something new every day. Tower cam to dub again. Brian's asking, what does BSR stand for? So it's the Bering Strait Rule or the Bering Sea Rule. And it's basically, it's a rule because the idea is it's a teleconnection. It looks at weather there, and that weather cycles back through here. I'm going to put this up so I can go get into position. I know it's black. Give it a second. But it's basically 2.5 weeks notice of our weather here in Central Florida. That's the idea there. It's just a secondary long-range forecast indicator. And when the LRC and the BSR line up, that gives you a pretty good confidence on what is expected, right? So there's going to be an area of low pressure around Florida around the 24th or so. All right, I have to be quiet because coming up. Stand by, people. Yeah. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, spring in Florida is summer for other locations, right? But then again, we live in paradise. You've got the beach a couple of minutes away. You've got the theme parks a couple of minutes away. Such is life. Here's a look outside on our Tower Cam network, downtown Orlando in the distance. As we look to our day planner forecast, lots of sun early, but we're going to be getting into those showers and those thunder showers. 88 degrees, our lunchtime temperature, starting to see a few showers popping on up. And then 3, 4, 5 o'clock, that's when the rains do fire up. That continues through about 7 o'clock this evening. But if there's one thing you notice, let it be that afternoon high. It is going to be a hot day, 94 degrees. Our high temperature on the day. First warning, live Doppler radars, rain free in our area, though this band of heavy rain out over the Gulf of Mexico working over towards Citrus, Hernando counties has put out a couple of lightning flashes in the last couple of minutes. It's fading as it comes in, but it lets you know there's plenty of that atmospheric moisture. Then again, that humidity we stepped out to this morning also would let you know. Temperatures out the door in the upper 70s, lower 80s. We're headed into the 90s this afternoon. A 40% coverage of showers and storms. But just when does it arrive in your neighborhood? We'll talk about it neighborhood by neighborhood when I see you in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks so much. First morning traffic on this Monday. This morning, we are seeing some slowdowns westbound.
Okay, friends. Now we've got a couple of minutes where I don't have to where I don't have to do TV. I actually have a couple of minute break. How about that? All right, where were we? We were talking about the BSR, we were talking about the tropics. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. You know, one thing that I didn't look at, let's do that real fast. I didn't look at the ensembles. I am curious to see if we'll start with the GFS ensemble. Oh, that's the raw GFS, standby. I want to look at the GFS ensembles and see if it's what it's trying to do. So this is the 6Z GFS, and I just want to see if it's trying to bubble anything up. So first off, this is Friday the 17th, so you can kind of see, you know, the ensemble showing some stuff around Central America. That's what the Hurricane Center is already discussing. But let's go beyond that. Yeah, so Louisiana-ish. Yeah, so a couple of ensemble members trying Louisiana-ish. Let's go back here. Let's look at the European. First off, the European, you can see where it says Coffee Talk around Central America. The European has plenty of ensemble members trying to get something going there. Let me crank the volume up because I have to whisper now. My apologies. So that's the stuff that would be late this week into the weekend around the Yucatan. No big deal there. And then afterward, around the 23rd, something of areas of low pressure around mid-Atlantic. 27th, 28th, yeah, so that's, yeah, so the European's not really picking up on anything else toward the end, but it's always interesting. I always love checking in. I always love checking in on the tropics. I hope you do too. I appreciate you for for hanging out and thrilling me, letting me check everything in with you guys and gals. So at any rate, here's where we're at. Forecast this week's gonna be nice and hot. We can then yenter it up for a couple of minutes, but yeah, forecast this week, nice and hot, 94 today, 95 tomorrow, 96 degrees thereafter. It is going to be oh so hot. The Burris carpool, ay, ay, ay. Your car name made me think of the Chicago Transit Authority. You know, I gotcha. The Burris Sunny Ride, how funny. Let's see here. We had an old white station wagon named Betsy when we were little kids. I cried when, what? I can't even understand what you're saying, Patty. I apologize. It's a good thing to have a good relationship at work. Makes your day go better. Oh, David, let me tell you, I know that they don't hire people based on like the kind of people, because how do you know, right? But I adore Sheldon. I adore Sonica. I adore Meredith. Sonica and Sheldon and I are all locals, all grew up here in Central Florida. Meredith was at my wedding. Jason was at my wedding. Heck, I've worked with Meredith for almost half my life. Did you know that? We worked together at our last station before Wesh. Patty, has your Tesla arrived and what color? My grandson wants to know. He likes you and Tesla. It did. Yesterday, not only did my Tesla arrive, but Manolfi's Tesla as well. So I have to show you because it's ridiculous. Not only did I get one, but Tony got one, and we both picked them up the exact same time. You may have seen it on Tony's page. Here. There's Tony and I picking up our cars. He posted it on his page. Yep, both of them arrived same time. We were in there doing all of our paperwork and stuff at the same time. It was a lot of fun. And what's even funnier is Jane Ann, his wife, drives basically the same vehicle that I do. So maybe Jane Ann moves on and gets drove the same vehicle I had. So maybe she moves on and gets a Tesla. I have solar at the house, so I love that it all works together now. Yes, stay hydrated indeed. I hope those cars are not the same color. No, Tony's, what's funny though is Tony's car looks identical to Alex Alisi's Tesla. So Tony and Alex park together and they're gonna look identical. I've got the white one. I like having a white car. I've always liked a white car. Tony and Alex are gray, so yeah. Good thing you didn't call it GFS, otherwise it might not amount to anything. Yeah, well, Chris with the jokes. Welcome back to Florida. So anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody have anything for us? Yeah? Tropics are going to be starting to be a thing here these next couple of weeks. You know, this thing in Mexico, and then there are a couple of those indicators looking ahead to late to late month. So that's going to be a thing. Debbie says, I live in an apartment, so no Tesla for me. You know what's interesting though, Debbie, is a lot of these apartment complexes are starting to put chargers in, and there's tax breaks and things for them. So even if your complex doesn't have one, I thought it was kind of interesting to note that if you present the case, there's actually room for that. You know, apartment complexes can get tax breaks and things. So yeah, Kenneth says car remote solves the confusion. This is true. This is true. Patty says, sorry, trashed phone screen. Sometimes hard to see what I'm typing. I apologize, Patty. Yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to read it, but I don't know what's going on. And I know you're not a troll. I'm like, so maybe she just mistyped. So that's okay. Brian, sharp tie. Thank you. I think Meredith McDonough bought this tie for me like 14 or 13 years ago. Yeah. Zareen, what will the weather be like on July 23rd? Well, I can't give you more than just the long-range hurricane forecast, but in terms of the hurricane forecast, what are we going to be tracking around that time? That's going to be around the time that we're watching the Florester, which is the repeat of the November 6th storm system. But remember, while I have it labeled as the 20th and the 21st, you know, plus or minus a couple of days, so it can fit into any one of those time frames there. So there is going to be a Florida thing that we're watching. We'll have to watch it. I can't promise it, but you know, that's a little bit of a hotspot time ring. All right. All right, let's see here. Melissa says, I think presenting a good case helps in most cases. We can create more things happen when we think. It's true. Well, and between the tax breaks and just kind of good PR, like I could tell you this, my next step is going to the bosses at WESH and saying, hey, you know, more and more employees are getting electric cars. What do you think about making some subtle investments? I believe there are tax breaks, and see what they say, you know? We're doing this forecasting our future segment, which is the idea is to kind of try and help understand climate and all this. And so if it can help work that direction, I don't see why the bosses wouldn't. Yeah. When they make an electric vehicle that charges itself when driving, I might look into getting one. Well, Bo, I would say that when you use regenerative braking, it does. But I did read that there is a company that's looking at charging off of the road itself. Seriously. So there may be something to that in the future. There may be something to that. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right? All right, listen. Enough. I'm done. I've got another 1 hour, 20 minutes of newscast. Join us, would you? We're on CW18 live until 10. Brand new hour, the 9 a.m. hour. If you've never watched it, it is different than all of our other newscasts. It's got a little more personality, a little bit more fun, if you will. So take a look. Join us. We're still live over on CW18, but 9 o'clock we reset, and it's a totally different hour. So anyway, check it out. All right, I will see you at 3:30. We'll tune in. We'll take a look at the brand new model data. By that point in time, the 12Z model runs will be in, and we can look at the tropics, look at our local forecast, and all that jazz. All right? All right, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I will see you on TV through 10 o'clock. And then, of course, I'll check out the latest model data with you at 3:30. Bye, y'all.